Hello, this is a special kind of address for the state of Tribe 12 Everyman Hybrid, what I think and why I think it. I filmed those reactions 2 weeks ago, so I've had 2 weeks to kind of process all this information, read your comments, and figure out what it is I do and do not like, and some reasons why. And I think the first and probably the simplest thing I can start with is your comments on the time travel aspect of the Observer. And I answered one of you already in a comment a couple days ago, and I comment extremely rarely, almost never at all. So I'm not going to make you guys search through all of that. I'm basically going to rephrase my argument right away. The reason why I didn't like the time travel element in Tribe 12 with the Observer is because I feel like it was poorly introduced. And before you comment and everything, just hear me out. I understand that time travel and time manipulation is an essential part of these shows. I mean, you all know I love Doctor Who, I love time travel. And I loved that scene in Marble Hornets where Tim and Jay went into the basement of Alex's old house during the day, and they come out at night. I love that scene. That was very well done. But here's the thing. Time travel and time manipulation are already established abilities that the Slender Man has. So that was there. It was to be expected. It was to be expected that that was going to happen. When Tim and Hoodie are running through a bunch of locations, why is that happening? It's because the Observer, it's because the Slender Man is doing that. Alex and Tim fighting through different locations in Entry 86, again, Alex and the Operator are working together, or at least soon so still. So time travel and time manipulation were already there, part of the whole idea of what Slender Man is. An entity that can control time and space, essentially, at the very least manipulate it. The Observer's ability to do the same thing comes out of left field. Comes out of goddamn nowhere. And what reason, what purpose does that have? You guys tell me if there's a reason for it. You guys tell me that it's explained. And you know what? I'm taking your word for it. I am. And I'm sure there is. It's not that difficult. A lot of you are telling me that the Observer can time travel because of Slender Man or the Administrator. And that's okay. That's a good explanation for it. But the way it was introduced and the way that ability was shown made it look like the Observer can just do that independently and always has. It was poorly introduced, and that's why I don't like about it. That's why I wasn't too open to the idea from the beginning. I'm taking your word for it and trusting you on this one. So I hope that explains some of the reasons why I didn't like the time travel element, because of the way it was introduced. And this goes hand in hand with what I'm going to be saying about the crossover that I watched. And the major problems I have with that. And the major problems I have with Everyman Hybrid, which I now understand is completed and is over. The problem I had with the crossover is it didn't explain anything. And I'm going to be coming back to this. The reason why it was so important to explain things. The first was that it was set up as a way for both characters from both shows to sit down and compare notes. Right? Now you guys are 3 years ahead of me. Again, it's something I'm going to come back to. And so you guys probably know that it wasn't supposed to be that way. But it looked like it was supposed to. You know, he's going, oh, I'm going to go talk to these guys. I'm going to get some answers. So it seems like, you know, Noah's going to get answers from Everyman Hybrid, Hybrid's going to get answers from Noah, and no answers were given. In fact, more questions were made. The only answer you were given was that the Observer did not send the envelope to Noah. It was Habit from Everyman Hybrid who sent the envelope to Noah. And that asks more questions, such as, how does Habit know about Noah? How did he get Noah's address? Is Habit and the Observer working together? Habit is working for Slenderman. Did Slenderman tell him to do it? And more importantly, what does the information in the envelope have to do with anything in Everyman Hybrid? Because it's mostly about Milo, and it's mostly about his doctor, Dr. C. That was it. I mean, I don't know how Milo is connected to Everyman Hybrid. And again, I'm going to come back to this, because this is my core reason why I'm not going to get into Everyman Hybrid, and why Everyman Hybrid is so flawed, in my opinion, from what I've seen and from what I understand, and why I see and understand it, and have no motivation to continue with Everyman Hybrid. I'm going to explain all of this. Okay? I'm not just some YouTube commenter who goes, this sucks, these guys are hacks, and like, that's it. I'm going to give reasons why I don't like Everyman Hybrid. As I said in my reaction, Everyman Hybrid started as a Slenderman parody, as a friend showing up in the background as Slenderman. And then as things continued, it's actually Slenderman, and things get more and more horrific. I was okay with that. I liked that. I liked that slow slope into a complete madness, horror, paranoia story. That was nice. Problems. The problem lies with the ARG elements of Everyman Hybrid, and kind of Tribe 12. The problem is, ARG elements are short-term storytelling narrative devices. Okay? The pros of ARG elements, or alternate reality game elements, are many. There's tons of them. Audience participation, storytelling that is not directly linked to the main material, to the YouTube accounts. I mean, it allows you to be more creative, try different formats, experiment a little, and it's great. And if you like ARG elements, that's fine, that's great, more power to you. And I get why people like it a lot. I get it, I really do. Because the main feature is audience participation. Make the audience feel like they're part of the story, like they're directly influencing things in some way. Marble Hornets kind of had it with their Twitter account and the To The Arc account. Jay and Tim would often converse with other people over Twitter, and sometimes even To The Arc would respond to comments in their videos. Again, make the audience feel like they're interacting with something tangible, with something that's actually happening. And Tribe 12 does it, takes it a little step further with the live streams. And that's great. People can converse with Noah, talk to him, ask him questions, point things out to him. That's great. That really is. And I can just imagine how fun it must have been to be there for it. And Everyman Hybrid kind of is all over the place with ARG. Alright, it's got the Minecraft maps, which I think is kind of a terrible idea. I mean, I'm gonna get to this. Don't be typing in the comment box just yet. You get the Minecraft maps. You've got puzzles that are linked to other shows. You've got physical objects being sent to viewers. It's all over the place. And you can do that. You can be all over the place. You can do it and be a broad spectrum of supplementary materials. And that's fine if you have a very clear trail of breadcrumbs leading one to the other, or at the very least, give viewers a place to start. I understand they have a Twitter, and who knows? I haven't looked at it. So maybe this breadcrumb trail starts in their Twitter, or in one of their videos at the end, or something. And Alright, credit, okay, that's fine. And the amount of work I must have taken to build a story into a broad spectrum must have been hard. But here's my major, the downside is that it's a short-term storytelling device. What I mean by that is that you're relying on the viewers to go through those puzzles, to look at the supplementary material as it's released, right then and there, now. And everything that's covered directly correlates to what's going to happen next in the main channel, Everman Hybrid. And that's fine. But what about the viewers that are coming in after the fact? 3 months, 2 years, or me, 3 years later. Okay? I'm not going to know what's going on. I don't know all of this is happening. And that audience participation that ARG relies so heavily on is gone. It's been 3 years. Everything that could possibly be talked about probably already has in 50 different YouTube channels, Wikipedia articles. The suspense and any motivation that a viewer coming in late, not just me 3 years late, but maybe 2 months later, 4 months later, anyone coming after me who might want to be into Everyman Hybrid, it's too late for them. The audience participation and motivation to join that moment, that element, is gone. It's like if I went onto Wikipedia right now and looked up Everyman Hybrid and just read the Wikipedia article. That's exactly what I'd be doing. All that suspense, all the build-up is gone. There's no motivation for anybody to do this anymore. New viewers aren't going to be motivated to do the ARG because either it'll be gone or it's already solved, so what's the point? That's why I'm not, going on the twits. That's why I'm not going to the Twitters. That's why I'm not going through Minecraft maps or doing any of that. There's no point. Why would I do that? It's already been solved. Why should I look it up? That's just going to ruin suspense for me later on. In the moment, you guys probably had all the motivation in the world to do it. You guys wanted that audience participation. You guys wanted to be there. And the satisfaction for doing that, for that feeling that you were actually affecting something in the story, that must have been incredible. And if I had been there 3 years ago, and if I also participated, I would probably be in the same boat as you. I would be having a completely different talk right now about this. But I wasn't there. So I don't get to have that satisfaction. I don't get to have that moment of, holy shit. It's like skipping ahead to the end of the book. If you know how it ends, why bother reading it? And if it was just that, I would still probably be watching Everyman Hybrid. But it's not. Because Everyman Hybrid expects you to go through the ARG elements. They expect you to go to Minecraft maps. They expect you to browse the forums. They expect you to look at all the supplementary material. And if you don't, that's just too bad. Because they don't explain anything. I was talking with my friend Chad, and he stuck around with Everyman Hybrid a lot longer than I did, and he told me that they don't explain things that happen outside of the main channel. If something happens to the ARG elements, you either had to be there for it or you missed out. And if you purposely leave out 30% of your story, that's like reading a book with missing pages. That's not fun. It's like tearing out a third of a book. Why? I mean, you guys were there for it. You guys were there from the get-go. You got the story. You have everything. You followed through step by step. Congratulations. If you enjoyed doing that, fantastic. But it's 3 years later. I can't do that. That Minecraft map probably isn't there. If it is, why would I solve it when I could just watch a Let's Play of it? What motivation do I have to go through these steps? I don't have any, because it's already been done. And it's 3 years too late, The satisfaction of participating in the story isn't there. And so, because they don't explain anything that happens outside of the main YouTube channel, I'm missing a third of the story. And new viewers like me who go through this won't be interested. They'll be confused, they'll be conflicted, and they won't want to continue because they're missing a third of the story as well. And this goes back to the crossover. The crossover was the perfect opportunity for Everyman Hybrid to give a Cliff's Notes version, a rundown of what's been going on. Because they assume that everyone who watches Tribe 12 watches Everyman Hybrid and vice versa. What if somebody had just been watching Tribe 12 and didn't even know Everyman Hybrid existed? All of a sudden this group of characters show up. Why? What do they have to do with the story? Do you think that they're going to go back and slog through a year or two of videos just to get back to that point? No. Well, I'm sure most would, actually, to be honest. Made it this far. But they have to plan for the fact that some won't. Some won't want to. They have to plan. Both sides are guilty of this. Both sides had to plan for the inevitable fact that some people watched one show and not the other. It's possible that some people who watched Tribe 12 had no clue who Everyman Hybrid was, and vice versa. And this crossover was a perfect opportunity to give a rundown of what's been happening in each channel and why it's important to the specific channel that they've been dominantly watching. You know, Tribe 12 goes into Everyman Hybrid's camp. Everyman Hybrid can be like, okay, this is Habit. This is what he's been sending us. This is what he's been doing. You know, he's affected us in this way. It gives us a brief idea of what stakes Everyman Hybrid is under, what kind of pressure they are at, and gives the viewer who has not watched Everyman Hybrid motivation to go through that and see them develop. Likewise, vice versa. Somebody who watched Everyman Hybrid and only that might not have heard of Tribe 12. So all of a sudden this bearded guy comes in for no apparent reason. They're going, who is he? Noah could be like, okay, well, this is the Observer. He's been breaking into my house, messing with my shit, planting listening bugs all over the place. It gives the audience of Everyman Hybrid an idea of what Noah's going through. An idea that this shared universe that they're in, they're facing similar struggles, similar evils, similar antagonists, and that they do have to work together. That they do have to focus on this. They don't do that. They didn't do it. Noah shows up, and they hang out. They laugh, they joke around. I know a lot of you have said that this whole crossover thing was supposed to be kind of an introduction to both series, to each other, to each other's audience. Terrible way to do it. You're showing them laughing and joking around and talking about Captain Planet and Minecraft. Do you really think that somebody who's watched Everyman Hybrid is watching this Noah guy just laugh and joke around? Do they really think that he's under stress, that he's under duress, that he's being listened and watched every moment? The answer is no. You're gonna think he's on a nice trip, visiting some friends. I've watched some of Everyman Hybrid, so I know these guys are under extreme pressure. They're being followed around and terrorized. They're finding bags full of dead animals in the middle of the woods. It's bloody and it's gory and disturbing. And they just sit there and laugh like nothing's happened. And a lot of you are like, oh, they're laughing because that's how they react to danger, laughing in the face of madness. Again, without showing what the stakes are, instead of showing what the stakes are and showing that these characters are indeed in peril, they come across as a bunch of douchebags. And that's not a good first impression for an audience that has never watched Everyman Hybrid to have. And that's what's wrong with the crossover, is that the ARG elements that are so important in understanding the overall story are so far and gone. There's no point, there's no motivation, the satisfaction from completing it won't be there for any viewers coming in from this point on. The lack of explanation or a summary even of what has been going on in these ARG elements is also detrimental to both Tribe 12 and Everyman Hybrid. And now that these two shows, and now Dark Harvest, and as someone mentioned, Emily Anderson and like Whispered Forest or something, now there's 5 shows involved, 4 shows. 5 shows involved in this universe, all with their own canons, rules for how the Slenderman works, nicknames, antagonists. They all exist in the same universe. It just raises more questions than answers. I'm not going to watch Everyman Hybrid for the reasons I mentioned with the ARG elements. Please don't tell me that it gets better. Please don't tell me the acting gets better. Don't tell me the writing gets better. Because as far as I'm concerned, if they don't fix... No, if they never fix those problems I mentioned, then I'm not going to be a viewer of Everyman Hybrid. And I'm not even talking about the tone or the pacing of some of the episodes, which are also skewed, by the way. They can go from scary and intense to all of a sudden, oh shit, they're at a park, they're having fun, let's spend 10 minutes having a montage of them having fun in the park with their friends. I'm sorry, why am I wasting 10 minutes watching a bunch of people in the park when I came for a Slenderman show? Stuff like that. So I'm not going to watch Everyman Hybrid. Please stop trying to convince me. I'm not going to do it. I'm just plain not. Had I been there from the beginning, had I been there for the audience participation and its satisfaction of affecting the story in some way, yes, I would be watching, and this would be a completely different video. But unfortunately, we don't live in that alternate universe where that happened. We're here right now. And because they agreed, because Adam agreed to this crossover, my respect for him and my respect for Tribe 12 has gone down significantly. I'm not angry at them. I'm not angry at him. Although I do feel like his stories also feel rushed and unplanned at times. At times. But I don't blame him for the problems in the crossover. The problems in the crossover lie primarily with Everyman Hybrid, in my opinion. So I'm not angry at Tribe 12. I'm frustrated with Everyman Hybrid. I'm disappointed in Noah. Which is why I'm going to say that if just one more thing happens, one more thing that is cliche, could be easily fixed, easily avoided, I'm going to stop. Just one more thing happens. No, it's too harsh. It's too harsh. If one more thing happens, I'm going to be taking a hiatus, I think. I'm going to be taking a break, a long break, to get my thoughts together on what's been happening. I've had 2 weeks since my filming of the crossover reaction to now to formulate my ideas, thoughts, and arguments. So if something were to happen and I kind of get angry again like I did a couple weeks ago, then I'm probably going to stop, upload the reactions, on a schedule, and I'm probably going to continue after taking some breaks. Not to mention that college now has kind of gotten kind of intense, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to affect my viewing of Tribe 12. Hopefully it won't, especially if I binge watch, because then I can get a good 2 or 3 weeks of reactions out of the way. And that's most likely what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, is filming a whole bunch of reactions. So I'm going to still continue, but I'm going to be a lot more critical and a lot more cynical about everything that happens from here on out because of this crossover. Because Noah's shown himself to be willing to be a lazy storyteller and just kind of improvise and go on and do this. You have to plan this shit out more than 1 or 2 submissions in advance. Gotta be ready to think, alright, what are viewers going to think? What about this select group of viewers who might not be following the story? Well, these groups of people, you gotta think about them. And I know that's like hard to say for an internet show, but it's true. Marble Hornets was a closed, singular story. They didn't have to worry about a crossover. And that was for the best, for that story. They planned shit out. They planned that ending 2 years in advance. 2 years in advance. That takes dedication. It takes time to sit down and figure out where characters are going to start, where they're going to be conflicted, and where they're going to end up. I'm not saying that Tribe 12 should be like Marble Hornets, because the first 6 submissions were exactly like Marble Hornets, and that was kind of the samey old meh. But if Adam took some time, sat down, decided to focus on the next 10 submissions and how they would, figure into each other, what could happen, how characters will react, come up with a more definitive script than just improvising and stumbling around a dark room for 10 minutes, Tribe 12 would be a hell of a lot better. And then I would be able to say, I don't like Tribe 12, I love Tribe 12. But I don't. Right now, I'm at Simple Like. It's a good show. It's got great graphics, great effects. The antagonist is amazing. And I came for Slenderman, I stayed for the Observer. But there are some elements in Tribe 12 that needs to be fixed, and as I said, better planning of each submission is one of them. So, thank you for your time. I'm going to be uploading this sometime Saturday morning. So in 2 days you should be getting my reaction to, I believe it's called Halloween Hotel. So, I'll see you guys then.